share that?
Yes, sure, please do.
Yeah. I think I will do screen.
I can see it.
Very good. And then I just do slideshow,
I can see your screen for the moment.
Yeah, and then I do like this.
Yeah.
Very good.
Works. Perfect.
Seems to work to the end. Very good.
Okay.
And then I just...
Yeah, and Emmanuel? Sorry, Malin, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm fine. I will just now... how do I... here, stop sharing.
Okay. I will perform a great suggestion and also share my test.
Yes. I wanted just to ask you now to try.
Does this work?
It does. I can see it.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, very well.
Good. And
okay. Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Julia. Can we try with you, Emmanuel? It's coming. It looks like it's coming. No, not yet. Damir, hi. I'm so glad to see you.
Well, sorry, it must be the browser thing. I could not connect somehow. So here we are. Hello, everyone. Everybody's on time, apart from the moderator.
Hello.
Now we can see your screen now, Emmanuel. It works.
It's okay, thank you.
Yes, Emmanuel, for this, I saw some of the last slides had a font issue.
I had, because I think because you sent the PowerPoint version and you sent a PDF version, and on the PowerPoint version I also had problems with seeing some letters. So maybe I wonder if it would not be better if you display the PDF version.
Okay.
If it's not a problem, because then maybe it's just, I don't know, a poor version of the program that we have here or something.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay. So we start at 2, no?
Yes.
Nothing changed there.
Yeah, so we will have participants joining at 2.
Were there plenty of them already here with us?
Okay, I'll go back to the title screen then.
Yes.
Yes, please, if you could highlight. So now, just if I may, with the host role, Damir, I think you will need the host role. So maybe
I'm going to make you host now. There we go. And we're both co-hosts now.
Perfect. Okay. So just don't quit before the end, please.
I think as long as one of us stays on, we're okay.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I don't dare to sign out.
Yes.
It's better to be here. But you showed like an agenda. Could we just do a short recap on that one? Just for the hour? I think that would be good.
Yes, maybe that's a good idea. Could you move the slides, Hywell, to the agenda slide?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
So, and of course, probably not everybody will join by 2 o'clock sharp, but we will have to start really like 1 or 2 past 2 at the latest, because we have a packed agenda. And we will start with Damir's introduction, explaining, quite in a compact way what will happen, and showing the agenda for the day. And at 14:05, our Deputy Director General, Hubert Gams, will join us and will give a 5-minute opening speech. And then Damir will introduce the panel.
Mm.
I have to take it. Sorry for that.
No, it's fine.
But going through agenda, just if you wanted, so I will basically present you the 3 speakers and kind of with one sentence lead you into your presentation. So please try to be within 10 minutes so that we get to 2:40. I will also ask participants to put their questions in the chat function and look for something that is.
Yes, hello, Michael. It's Marianne from Technology Group. I will support him today with the ideas. Yeah, I can see, I can hear you properly. Okay.
And for the questions, Damir, will you point that directly to one of us 3?
Yes.
Yeah. So we know.
Let's see what we get in chat, but I have some of my also.
Yeah.
I looked at your presentations; they're very nice, and they're not. I mean, there are how to say distinguishing features in them that can be used for this purpose. So
yeah.
To...
Yeah, that's good. So you will target the questions to us, so we know. Yeah. I think that's easier, so we know which one of us you want to answer.
Yes.
Yeah, super.
We'll announce the platform that starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
And also invite everyone to join the plenary with the link they used for morning. So that's what I have at my task list.
It will be great.
I hope our director will join us without problems.
Okay, the good news is that Hubert has just, after some hiccups, managed to join. He's joining us because he couldn't join either from the link or from the app.
Welcome everyone. We will wait for another 2 minutes for other participants to join for our circular economy to revitalize retail discussion this afternoon is a parallel breakout session. I would like to ask you for your patience for another couple of minutes. The participants are still coming in. Thank you. Well, I guess we can start now. Who joined us? My name is Damir Hajduk. I'm head of unit at DG Grow. Welcome everyone. Today we will talk about the circular economy in retail. Welcome to the breakout session of circular economy to revitalize retail. I will have today here with me 3 experts on circular economy in retail. And we will be having our introductory speech by our Deputy Director General of DG Grow, Mr. Hubert Gams. So just a few information regarding the house rules for you. So try to keep your microphone muted. If there will be noise, you may get muted by our technicians in the process. Also, there will be a session for questions that you will be asked to put in the chat function of WebEx. We will choose one of the questions for our participants. This session will start at 2:40, just before the end of our 1-hour discussion, and then we will wrap up just before 3 o'clock. I hope we're going to have a fruitful discussion and learn about the circular economy in retail and how circular economy could revitalize retail. Without further ado, this was the agenda for this session. I would like to introduce our opening speech by our Deputy Director General, Mr. Hubert Gams from DG Grow, who is here with us. Please, Hubert, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Damir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dear participants. Thank you for joining us virtually here today. You might wonder what is linking the circular economy and the revitalization of retail and wholesale. Is this the right time to discuss circularity in retail? Well, my answer definitely is yes. This challenging time seems very suitable for important changes. The retail ecosystem is a vital and essential part of the European economy. It is also a crucial element of the everyday life of millions of EU consumers. Retail and wholesale came under extreme pressure due to the pandemic. Precautionary measures put in place across member states, as well as changes in consumer demand, caused important disruptions. And unfortunately, the future remains uncertain. What is certain, though, is that the retail ecosystem wants to recover and that it needs support. Cooperation is key to that, to help repair the economic and social damage that is still being brought upon us by the coronavirus pandemic. This recovery will have to be digital and green. And the European Green Deal will play a central role in Europe's post-COVID revival, recovery and growth. The EU economy should also re-emerge as more resilient to future shocks. Another lesson that we have to draw from the crisis. And here is exactly where circularity steps in, because the more we reuse, the more we should be resilient to disruptions in value and supply chains. As you know, the Next Generation EU recovery package will make a sum of 750 billion euros available, and a large part of this will come in loans and grants under the Recovery and Resilience Facility to support investment towards green, digital, and resilient EU economy. Certainly, this opportunity cannot be missed. Investing in the retail ecosystem will contribute to the sustainable development, and it will make businesses more digitally advanced and more innovative. The circular economy is a significant part of a green transition, and retailers and wholesalers are important contributors to the circular economy. We will hear today from representatives from IKEA, REWE, and La Redoute how the three companies with a very different profile approach circularity in their daily business. They not only redesign their operations and products, but they also approach their customers and nudge them towards sustainable choices. Wholesalers, retailers, and other businesses in the retail ecosystem also drive circularity in the area of packaging, eco-design, recycling, waste reduction, and many more. But as it happens in circularity, the relations and impacts are not one way. Retail and wholesale businesses not only contribute to the uptake of the idea of the maximum reuse of resources, they also benefit from the concept. The circular economy makes sense also from the business perspective. I'm convinced about that. And it can be profitable. It can help retailers and wholesalers build their own resilience for the future. It is clear that investment is needed. The reorganization of supply chains, the development of new products and business models, the reskilling of workers, it all requires efforts, big efforts. A greener and more eco-friendly infrastructure and business practices might not seem the obvious choice in the current and instant recovery phase, but they definitely are the future of the retail ecosystems. Companies already have substantial know-how and they show willingness and commitment. But to make it all work, we also need a strong single market. Investment has to have the right framework conditions, and it should not be blocked and hampered by cross-border obstacles. This is particularly relevant for retailers and wholesalers because they depend on sometimes very complex, but definitely very often cross-border value chains. An integrated single market without unnecessary barriers is therefore the key driver for recovery. So to conclude, the crisis is highlighting the need for the retail ecosystem to modernize and to use multiple channels to reach consumers. But it also makes us think about a more sustainable consumption. Investing in the twin transition of green and digital towards more digitalization and sustainability helps us to shape the future for our children we would wish for. Now, I'm very much looking forward to learn about circularity in retail on the ground. Let's discuss how it can help to revitalize retail. I wish you a very interesting debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Hubert. This was a very informative introduction to our topic today. And now, directly from the companies themselves, I will call Malin Nordin, Head of Circular Business Development at IKEA, to tell us more about the overall approach of the company to the circular economy, and in particular about the product design, material innovation, customer experience, and the reinforced change in the society driven by COVID, as well as single market issues. Malin, the floor is yours. Thank you very much for being with us here today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Damir. So I will share my screen so you can also see a little bit more what is happening from an IKEA perspective. So being then the responsible for Inter-IKEA Group to lead the transformation for IKEA becoming a circular company by 2030 is my assignment to support and lead all IKEA organizations. And I hope most of you are familiar with IKEA. And we are a large home furnishing retailer. We're operating in 52 markets. And this year we had 4 billion visitors to our websites, and we are 220,000 co-workers. So we have, of course, a huge responsibility, but also a force to also make an impact. And if you look upon our ambition and vision, becoming a circular company, is very much connected to our consumers and customer and the behavior change that we see in the society, which becomes even more relevant and important in the situation of the pandemic, where we see the importance of being even more affordable to consumers. And we can also see the importance of being a more sustainable company, but also offering sustainable solutions that more people want to join and be part of a sustainable society. So we want to also, of course, have that as an overall offer from IKEA. But it's also very much about resource scarcity and the importance of making sure that we have availability and low-cost materials continuing for IKEA. And of course, I mean, we are using a lot of resources, and we have to do it in a responsible way. And the only way is a circular way. We also, of course, see the importance and the contribution to the climate goals. And with us being part of the Paris Agreement, it's really important, the transition also into a circular business, to make sure that we actually can deliver to those really challenging goals that we have set as IKEA. And for us, very much, I think, reflecting what Hubert talked about, is that overall vision for us and what we want to achieve. In one way, circularity is very simple, because in the end, we want to prolong the life of our products and materials. So whatever we do within our business that supports this overall thinking is a way setting us up for circularity and in our business. And we definitely see our products as material banks for the future. So of course, with that said, and looking into IKEA as a company, we want to transform our total value chain into a circular business. And this is how we have tried and to visualize that, because we both have partners and we also own forests, for instance, to sawmills, to production, to transporting, to our retail facilities meeting our customers. So of course, it is a huge shift that we are setting us up for and are in the middle of that shift. But I think what is important is that we want really to enlarge the discussion around the importance of reuse and refurbishment. And for us, it's really now that is really where we would like to take the focus at the moment, to make sure that we are building a profitable and affordable business for our consumers, making it possible to reuse and refurbish as many IKEA products we possibly can. And then, of course, to make sure that we are lowering the cost for our company and also for making it material available for others. We also, of course, need to make sure that we are also setting up the solutions and have partners when it comes to recycling and remanufacturing parts. So this is very, in short, the approach to circularity from an overall IKEA perspective, that we want to make sure that we reuse, refurbish, remanufacturing and recycling our products and materials. And as I said, we want to be a circular company by 2030. And of course, the big question, what does that mean? And for us, it means that we want to enabling our customer, engage our customers so they can acquire and care for and pass on products in circular ways. We want all our products that we put on the market to be circular and enable circularity by 2030. And we want to build an IKEA only using renewable and recycled materials. And we want as a company to be seen as a thought leader, and we want to join forces with other business partners, organizations, and so forth to really make an impact together, because we realize that there is, of course, no point that IKEA is a circular company if no other companies or other organizations and governments and infrastructure and cities are circular. It is really a huge cooperation and collaboration together to make this economical shift in the world. And then to make some examples what this means if we talk about revitalizing retail. It is for us very much to engage consumers and our customers in new circular ways. There is a huge aspiration from a consumer perspective, finding circular ways to consume. And one example is that in the past year, we offered customers more than 14 million spare parts, meaning that we were able to support customers to prolong the life of the products and reuse what they already have with very little means. Also, our biggest retailer, the Inca Group, recovered 47 million products during last year, meaning that we have not been wasteful of those products. And we are continuing now building solutions, offering more care and repair solutions and more spare parts and furniture parts to our customers, making sure that you can continue using and be proud of what you already have at home. Another exciting part of revitalizing is that actually yesterday we opened our world first secondhand store in Sweden for IKEA. A first smaller test that we are now doing, where we then together with a partner are refurbishing and reusing IKEA products, and we are reselling together with a partner at the site. So of course now we also meet customers in new ways and not only at the web or in the IKEA stores. So very exciting journey into this. At the same time, what is important is that it is also about the systemic shift. Because in the end, what we also need to do is that we need to design our complete offer to enable reuse, repurpose, repair, and recycle. We need to design the products right from the beginning. So, of course, doing this systemic shift, what we have done is that we have assessed our complete range, around 12,000 articles, to see how circular are they today. And we have identified and defined design principles to make sure that we are enabling a circular business. So with that, we actually now have a roadmap understanding what do we need to develop and invest, making sure that our products are designed for reuse, refurbish, remanufacturing, and recycling. And that is really an exciting journey that we are into, and we are learning, of course, on a daily basis. At the same time that we see from an IKEA perspective, it is our way forward, and it is as exciting as when we did the flat pack many years ago. It is really a huge shift for the company. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Malin. Indeed, some big changes going on in IKEA and some ambitious plans for the future for circular economy. I will run towards our second speaker today, actually presenter. With us here today is Julia Ries, head of the Brussels office of REWE, the German cooperative of independent retailers. Slightly different perspective, but also very interesting will be to hear how food and non-food packaging adapts to the circular economy, how COVID-related issues that had an impact on the functioning of REWE business invest in security, and also what single market issues may be if there is any impact on the level playing field between the online and brick and mortar. Julia, the floor is yours. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I hope that I can be understood well. Everything's working. You see the presentation. Good. Maybe just before I go into the topics mentioned by Damir, I just wanted to briefly give an overview of what REWE Group is and what belongs to REWE Group. So we are a cooperatively structured retail and tourism group with 360,000 employees in Europe. I will be focusing on the retail sector, and there we're active in mainly the food retail. We're in 10 European Union countries as well as in Russia, and we in Germany we also have DIY stores. And before I start with a few examples from our business, I just wanted to give an overview of our approach to sustainability, which is a strategic element of our business strategy. In 2008, we set up 4 pillars for sustainability, each with their goal in order to ensure that all the business parts of REWE Group are increasingly implementing measures towards attaining these goals. And today I will focus on the green products and the circularity element. So in retail, in fast-moving consumer good retail, and especially in food, the main focus on circularity is on packaging as well as on prevention of food waste. And so on packaging, I wanted to give 2 examples. One of them is the use of secondary plastic, where we've been working for many years to allow this use in our packaging products. And some of you may know the use of recycled materials from PET bottles in Germany is quite well established from the deposit return scheme, but we also collect plastic in a different scheme, like other plastic garbage in the German yellow bag, and there it's very challenging to use that for recycled materials for packaging. So together with other partners, and as we mentioned several times, cooperation is key. We've invested since 2012 in new technology to allow this use, and we've already come quite far. So today, in our own brand products in the care and cleaning segment, we already have 94% of the packaging is from recycled materials, and 20% of that from the German yellow bag, so the challenging part. And we hope that by end of next year, we will achieve 100% of recycled packaging content for these segments. Another element is that we are continuously nudging our consumers towards trying out new reusable systems to completely get rid of packaging. And as you've also seen them in Belgium and Germany, we had also introduced the nets for fresh fruit and vegetable section. In our click and collect, we have return system with boxes. So when consumer orders online and picks up at our stores, there is no packaging waste, but it's a return system with boxes. And we are currently trialing in the west of Germany together with a small startup called Vital. You see the boxes here, a deposit return scheme for our salad bar and the convenience products. And the startup is using an app-based process, and they're picking up the boxes for cleaning with bikes. So we're trying to make the whole thing as sustainable as possible. And so we're continuously testing and trying out with consumers new systems to ensure circularity here. I've also brought an overlooked example from the DIY sector, just because it's been around for decades. In our DIY stores, for many, many years, we've been offering the rental of machinery. So consumers can look what kind of machinery is available also for rental if they have any DIY projects, so they do not need to buy any of this equipment, because often it's also used only very rarely. And as an independent retailing group, I would like to also put a focus on short supply chains and working towards more integration in the region. And because, as Mr. Gams highlighted, the corona crisis and circularity, they can go together. And as an independent retailer, we are quite firmly rooted in our communities and regions. And we are working, we're increasingly working every day to support these short supply chains, and they have proven very, very strong in the crisis. One of the things we have put in place at the beginning of this year, it was a local partnership that entails certain rules that we will adhere to when we buy from local and small suppliers, as well as support structures that we offer suppliers. And we have put in place an independent ombudsman that will ensure the implementation of this. So if any of the suppliers has any concerns, they can reach out to him anonymously, and he will try to find solutions on their behalf. And I'm mentioning this because these short supply chains have fostered a lot of cooperation during the crisis. So one of the elements in the partnership is that we state that we will be supportive in times of crisis, and that we will find solutions on a case-by-case basis. And we've only written this down and published it in the beginning of the year, but soon it became very relevant just a few weeks after we had published the partnership. And I want to mention just a few things. One example from a local retailer is a project with his mussel supplier, who noted to him all the stocks he has because of the closing of the HoReCa sector. And now he's planning a whole week around the theme of eating mussels at home with good wine. And so taking a huge part of the stock that was meant for the HoReCa sector via the retail sector. And the example I have here is an example from the beginning of the crisis, when we saw a lot of challenges for the potato suppliers who normally supply the HoReCa sector with potatoes for fries. So with our discount store Penny, we bought an additional 200 tons of potatoes and marketed them specifically towards jacket potatoes and fries for the consumer, to alleviate a little bit of the pressure that the corona crisis had on those suppliers that are offering towards the HoReCa sector. And in our view, the ability to have these short supply chains as highlighted by the crisis, but also in everyday conversations we have with suppliers on introducing concepts for circularity, you need to know your partners. You need to be able to have these dialogues and to have these cooperations. So we really think that short supply chains or a lot of dialogue enhancement in the supply chain can really push this forward. And looking towards the EU level, I would 100% sign up to the comments made by Mr. Gams on the internal market, because one of the strongest supports that the EU level can actually give to circularity and sustainability projects on a whole is the single market completion with an approach to harmonization. And because in a lot of these products, when we start speaking with the supply chain on what could be potential ideas, what's important is strategic foresight to see what is coming, in which direction is regulation going, where is the European Union going, in which basket will you put your eggs at the European Union, so you invest in the right direction, and especially in sustainability and the circularity project, they have a high investment need. So we need some investment security, and we need to be able to scale it, especially if you look at the internal market. If we have different approaches across member states, that becomes very challenging in terms of scalability. Maybe one concrete example would be the conversation around bioplastics, where it would be nice to have some harmonized approach at EU level towards bioplastic. When are they sustainable to be used? Because that would help also recyclers and retailers and producers to really adapt towards those situations and to use them then when they are of advantage. And the last element is legal certainty. So the earlier there's communication in which direction, the better. And the most questions I get on the European Union legislation is, how is it defined? Will the Commission bring out guidance? So it seems sometimes so small, but these things, clear guidance in a timely manner, are just really helpful in implementing the ideas and the strategic direction that the European Union gives to all the operators in the chain. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. This was a very interesting presentation as well. I learned some new words like recycled, and of course, this standardization could help everyone to make investments because it would provide for some certainty. Nudging customers, I think this is important because without the customers, we will not reach the goal. So they too should get involved, and this is one of the topics that will be also touched slightly by our next speaker, Emmanuel Mercier, Sustainability Policy Officer at La Redoute, the French online retailer. Now, Emmanuel will talk about the digital transformation of the company and also the creation of the hybrid model, another new word. So I will not reveal everything what is in Emmanuel's presentation, but please, Emmanuel, take the floor. We're very happy to have you here today. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Do you hear me? It's okay? Okay. So I'm very happy to be with you today to talk to you about the circular economy strategy of La Redoute and to put this strategy on perspective of the COVID crisis. So La Redoute is an online retail company, and it was bought by Nathalie Gala and Eric Courteil, who are our CEOs 6 years ago. And at this moment, the company launched its digital transformation. 2 years ago, the model of La Redoute becomes digital. So it's a physical model with physical stores and an online model to a better customer experience, a general better customer experience. And our shops serves as a showroom, but the trade remains digital for La Redoute. In La Redoute, with the COVID crisis, we have seen the necessary complementary between the physical market and the digital market, because during the lockdown, we have seen that customers as turns their purchases on the digital trade. And in La Redoute today, our mission is to equip homes and families, and we are very famous for French customers with products for home and decoration, and also fashion. We accompany families in their daily lives, in their moments of life, in the evolution of their lifestyles, and during the lockdown, we have seen that our customers change their lifestyles and change their expectation in terms of purchases. And this new expectation were about more sustainable products to a sustainable consumption, and in a parallel time of this expectation, we have in France the law of circular economy, which forbid the destruction of products, and in La Redoute we have stopped to destroy product 10 years ago. So we have already a sustainable policy for our product. We don't start with the circular economy, but just before the lockdown, we have validated for La Redoute big CSR ambitions for 2025 and 2030, and we commit to have 100% of sustainable product for our internal brands. So a fashion brand, and 2 home and decoration brands. And we will be a 0 single-use plastic company by 2030, and we will be a carbon neutral company by 2030, because we have decided to join the methodology of Paris Agreement. Just to focus on what is a responsible product for La Redoute, a sustainable product. 2 years ago, we have joined the Go for Good movement of Galeries Lafayette Group. Go for Good is a public specification of CSR criteria for products. When a product has one criteria, it is highlighted as a sustainable product for the customer, and this specification as a criteria as recycled material, organic materials, and sustainable end of life, or social condition in the product. Go for Good is the base of our CSR strategy for the product, but we are working on an eco-conception standard, internal standard, to develop the reparation for furniture. Today we have 38% of the fashion collection which is Go for Good. We have also 43% of the collection of the first brand of home and decoration, which is Go for Good, and we are working on the raw materials, but also on the transport, because we developed the Made in Europe and the Made in France, and today we have 100% of our beds which are manufactured in France. Concerning our second brand of home and decoration, so AMPM, 28% of the collection today is Go for Good. We have developed the Made in Europe with 29% of the collection which is Go for Good, and today our sofas are produced at 10 kilometers of the headquarters of La Redoute. Sorry, I have a problem with my slide. So this is the first work we have made on the product, but we are going to test and we are testing new business models because we have some products which are produced on demand or in the pre-order. So we don't want to have too much stocks of products, and we want to develop this kind of business model. And we are going to launch C2C solutions, second-hand solution by mid-December for our customers. Concerning the CSR ambitions for La Redoute, the COVID crisis has accelerated this ambition. For example, we reach 100% offer, a sustainable offer by 2025, and for the fashion, we will be 100% sustainable by 2022. We have accelerated, and we are working on the accumulation of several criteria, sustainable criteria, in a product. We have also launched concerning the plastic. We have also launched a new delivery packaging, which are in 50% recycled plastic and 100% recyclable, and they are also used for returns. And to finish on the product, so we are going to increase the part of made in Europe product to limit the greenhouse emissions. We will have 100% of responsible cotton, so organic, recycled, and Better Cotton Initiative. And we are working on the commitments of our commercial partners, because we also sell national brands in place of internal brands. So we want to work with our business partners. And to finish on the communication and the customer's expectation, in La Redoute we have three conviction concerning the communication. The third conviction is to make our customers of the ecological changes for apparel and home. How could you have a sustainable consumption if you don't understand what are the challenges? In a second time, to make visible this sustainable offer, and finally to promote, to highlight the sustainable offer in the marketing, in the ad, in the general communication. And we have seen an increasing expectation of our customers to have a more sustainable lifestyle. So we are going to take our part in the green transition for our customers. So it's okay for me. I thank you, and I'm open to any question.
Thank you very much. So really to be circular requires the complete change, not only in distribution, but also in the product design, and also in consumers' understanding where are we going in circular economy and sustainable production. I would like everyone to write their questions for our participants, and as the moderator, I will take the floor and ask the first one that I have for Malin. So, Malin, what is the role of IKEA in helping society adopt circular behaviors? I think this is one of the challenges that is out there.
Yeah, I think, I mean, we have, as I said in the beginning, being a global company, of course, we have with our size a huge possibility to make an impact, but with that also comes a responsibility. And of course, with being a home furnishing retailer, with our products and solutions, we can, of course, very much show the way of how to live more sustainable, more circular, and also at the same time we can see that that is also the expectations from the consumers. I think it's also important for us to be partner up and working together more with other companies, and I think it's very much also connecting to local partnerships together, setting up a different way of an infrastructure that supports convenient solutions for the consumer to reuse and reuse the materials, recycling and so forth, because we often find that there is a huge willingness and no one wants to be wasteful, but there is huge lack of knowledge, time, convenient solutions, or it's very expensive. And here it's impossible for us to do that ourselves, and that to solve that we need to work together. And there also needs to be movement from a regulatory perspective that is then promoting this behavior, and that becomes the benefit for in the society and for the people living there, that this is the behavior that is the beneficial behavior.
Thank you, Malin.
Thank you.
We have also a question for Julia. Now, Julia, this nudging of society regarding not only using the products that are more eco-friendly, but also this transport. So the packaging and how they come with this project of yours that is new with the recyclable pots. How is this? Is this something that the customers, the consumers are picking up, or is it generation based? Do you have some information that is additional to this?
Well, on that one, we're currently testing it, so we don't have the results yet. We're crossing our fingers. But when we introduce the nets, the reusable nets, and instead of the thin plastic bags, we made a test. I think about like 40-50 stores, and we saw that not only the consumers bought it, but also the use of the thin plastic bags in the test decreased. So we really saw that they did reuse them, and for them it was quite easy to calculate that after you've used it seven times, as of that you make savings in terms of environmental plastic impact, because it takes about 7 of the thin ones in terms of plastic to make the reusable nets. And when it comes to consumer behavior, we do see a trend. However, it's also that there are still a large part of consumers that we continue to try to reach with our different sustainability products. I always like to mention one example. It's from animal welfare, but it just kind of shows the difference in the population. Unfortunately, in our penny discount store, we did a project with a pig supplier where we offered higher animal welfare pig meat. and it just did not sell in the discount store at all. We could thankfully move it towards one of our independent retailers who was happy to take it up, and it works super well with his customers. So very successful there. In the discount store, the small increase in price meant that there was no pickup. So we need to really, that's our approach. We test new approaches. We're very open to testing, even in 1 or 2 or 3 stores and in different areas of Germany, because you have different consumer responses to things. We see a huge individualization in consumers. So everybody has their own issues that they look at, especially in food. It's such an emotional and personal experience for people, what they eat. And so I think the important point is to kind of continue to test and see what takes up, and be open for new opportunities, look towards cooperation with startups, with suppliers who have innovative ideas, give them a space. So that's our approach. And the issues where it didn't work are very small. I only have like 2 or 3 examples. We have a lot of examples where it worked well. So
thank you very much, Julia. And I will move now to Emmanuel. Emmanuel, your market is, I think, global because it's digital, and there is this made in France concept. Now, I don't know if you are familiar with the EU digital product passport concept, if that was something that you heard, and in that respect, how, when you reach this global market, is this made in France communicated? So do people understand in other parts of the world the eco design, the approach you're investing in when designing your products that are sold on your platform? How is this information reaching the end consumer? We cannot hear you. Yeah.
Sorry. So concerning the digital product passport, I'm not an expert, so I'm not going to say mistake. I just heard of it, so I think that this passport could be a good thing for some kind of product, but when we sell fashion, furniture, decoration, I think it's difficult to industrialize the concept in a first step. But why not? It's not a new thing for us, because we are make collection of data about our products for the notation app, etc. It's not a new thing for us. But concerning the co-design, and we have suppliers in Asia, Europe. Today, our conviction is to make everything we can do immediately. So okay, our product can be better, but if we could have one criteria, sustainable criteria, we do it. And we want progress. We want to add sustainable criteria. So when we are able to make a close import for limit the greenhouses emission, we do it. And sometimes we manage to have this reduction of greenhouses, and we have a production on demand, for example. But sometimes we have just one criteria, because if we want to have made in Europe production, the raw materials come from Asia, so there is a problem in the transport before the fabrication of the product. So everything we can do, we do it, and we work in the long term for eco-consumption.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. This discussion, I think, revealed a little bit of how immense this change or systemic this change is in businesses of retailers, but also in product production, in design of products. And I hope this cooperation between private and public sector will make it even more feasible going forward in respect of the investment needed and of course certain regulatory initiatives like the ones that have been mentioned in terms of standardization of plastics. So I would like to thank our speakers for today. It is now 3 minutes to 3. Unfortunately, we could talk for hours on this topic regarding this topic, but it's a limited time. And I have also a couple of messages for our audience. So starting tomorrow, but you can reach it already today. There are EU circular talks on retail revitalization. The colleague of mine will put the link in the chat function for you to see. You also received it in your welcome pack when you were registering for the conference. So these talks will be launched tomorrow, but it will of course be a platform that will talk about the European circular economy. So EU circular talks, please be active and your opinion matters. Apart than that, you will also be able to come back to the plenary session by using the link that you were using for the morning session. So I'm very happy that we managed in time. Have a nice day, all of you, and thank you again for all the participants and the audience. I will slowly now disconnect and see you hopefully next year on the same event. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.